Okay, so Planet of the Apes franchise has been around since 1968. 50 plus years of watching apes on screen, and this new reboot, trilogy, quadrilogy, the movies that are coming out now, with these new movies, people forget how batshit crazy plot of the old Planet of the Apes movies were. Because initially they just did the Planet of the Apes movie and they didn't have any sequels planned. They did the twist, the famous "You Were on Earth All Along" twist with the Statue of Liberty sticking out of the beach, right? And that was supposed to be the end of it, but people loved that movie, so they kept making more. And the story that they kept telling after that first movie was insane. Now, if you really want to put a square peg in a round hole, you could make the old movies connect kinda with the new movies if you really think hard about it. But these new movies are supposed to be their own thing. It's a reboot, and they're just vaguely, loosely connected with the old movies. There is a bunch of Easter eggs and name drops and all of that, but I don't consider them to be a straight up connections with the old movies. They're just that, Easter eggs and name drops for the hardcore fans to like listen and go But yeah, the original 1968 movie followed Taylor, played by Moses, crash landing on a planet 2,000 years into the future. And now, initially you're not supposed to know that is Earth, but they leave clues all around the film, so when the twist hits at the end, you kind of go back and it all makes sense now. Unfortunately, I already knew the twist before watching this movie, so it didn't hit me as hard in retrospective as it would like a brand new pair of eyes and a brand new audience going into this movie blind. So in this world, the apes are smart and are able to talk, and the humans are dumb and are not able to talk, except for Taylor, which he came from the past and he still has his ability to talk. A lot of shenanigans go down, a lot of philosophical questions are asked, and at the end of the movie we watch Taylor ride down the beach to what once was the Statue of Liberty in New York City, and he realizes that it's been Earth all along.
Oh my God, I was wrong. It was Earth all along.
Second movie, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, is essentially a beat-by-beat remake of the original, except with a little couple of changes, but essentially the same. This astronaut crash lands in the same piece of fucking desert that George Taylor, the first guy, crashed on, exactly the same amount of time in the future, except that this time this team is supposed to go get Taylor, which doesn't make sense because Taylor and his team was never even supposed to come back to Earth. But anyways, you can see this movie has a serious case of sequelitis. It's really not as good as the first one. Charlton Heston is barely in this movie. He didn't want to come back. He came back with the condition that he is killed at the end of this movie, which he is, but they still made a third one. I'm getting ahead of myself, but essentially this movie is crazier than you can even think. There are mutant humans living underground that worship an atomic bomb. There is an evil general gorilla, bada bing bada boom. They go down to beneath the planet of the apes, and they fight the mutants. They set off, like Charlton Heston sets off the atomic bomb with his dying breath. That's the last thing he does. He blows up the entire planet, and the last thing we hear are these words:
"A green and insignificant planet is now dead."
Yeah, not bleak at all. You would think that that would be the end of Planet of the Apes, that the Earth is blown up. What else can you do? Well, money talks, and this movie made enough money on a small enough budget to justify another movie. So yeah, they made another movie. But this time is the other way around. This time is called Escape the Planet of the Apes, and instead of the humans traveling into the future to the planet of the apes travel back in time to 1970s America. And essentially this movie is a fish out of water comedy. It's just so goofy, so 70s, and yeah, it was a weird series, even for the 70s. They basically screw up by saying that apes are eventually gonna take over the planet, so this government guy is going after them to kill them to prevent that from happening. But attempting that from happening causes that very same thing. Anyways, they kill Zira, they kill Cornelius, they kill the monkey baby, and you would think that would be it, right? And you would be so wrong, because that wasn't their baby. Their baby was back at the zoo and it's talking, and that's gonna be the ape that's gonna take over the planet. This series is fucking insane. So at this point of the franchise, the movies are not making as much money as they were originally. So next one is Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and this one is pretty good. Not my favorite. We get the original Caesar, that is Cornelius and Zira's son, and he basically creates an uprising of the apes. The new ones, the reboot series, are essentially a remake of those movies, those last couple of movies of the original Planet of the Apes series. And I prefer so much the reboots over these. These are nice, they are, very nicely done, but they just feel there's a lot of social undertones in this one that are just not, they don't hold up with time. Caesar creates an uprising, they take over this plaza, I guess that's where the entire movie takes place. And yeah, they win the conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which is a conquest of a plaza somewhere. Which he says something in the movie that it's supposed to imply that what he did is going to influence every other ape in the world.
What you have seen here today, apes on the 5 continents will be imitating tomorrow.
I don't know, man. That doesn't convince me that they're gonna take over the entire planet, because the only smart one is him. In the new ones, you get a justification for the other apes being smart, because Caesar gasses them up with smart gas, and they are smart now. They can think better. But in the originals, they don't really explain that. They just make it so Caesar is their leader, and now they do as they're told, but they're not smart. Caesar smart, right? Anyways, we get to the final one, the battle for the Planet of the Apes. This is the last one of the original series, and this one is, in one word, very underwhelming. This was, I think, the lowest budget they got for a movie in the franchise, and it really shows in the quality of the picture. I really don't love this movie. So the mutants from the second movie, I'm really struggling to remember this one, because I really didn't want to rewatch it for this video. I'm going off of the first watch I did like a year ago. So yeah, if I get some things wrong, yeah, blame it on that. I'm sorry. As far as I remember, the mutants from the second movie come back, but they're not like fully mutants yet. They don't have like those mind reading and mind controlling abilities. They battle Caesar for the Planet of the Apes, which is still just a couple 100 square feet. It's not a planet. Yeah, they obviously lose. Caesar loses a son and has to learn how to forget, so humans and apes can live together, but they obviously can't, because it's a loop, right? This is supposed to like connect to the first one, and it's a loop, so it all repeats itself, I guess. They also made this prequel comic for the original movie, It's called Beware of the Planet of the Apes. Beware the Planet of the Apes. And I read through them. They're done with these, at least the first 4. They're not canon. I'm sorry. These are very they feel like fan fiction. They're fun, sure, but they are very not canon to the original film. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in this, and yeah. But I just wanted to mention it. I felt it was worth a mention. So yeah, prequel comic to the original film. Not that canon, but yeah, still a fun read. And after that, Tim Burton did a movie remake of the original Planet of the Apes, which is called Planet of the Apes, and it's so ridiculously stupid. I mean, the one good thing I could say about that movie is the makeup is insane. Like, it really does look amazing in that movie. Overall, I really don't find enough in that movie worthy of talking about, except that it's really dumb and cringe and dumb and cringe. So yeah, I bad movie, don't recommend. After that, of course, they didn't make a Planet of the Apes movie for about, I think, what was it? Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out in 2011, I think. And it was really good. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is, like I said earlier, a remake of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which is way better than the original. And Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes essentially cover the plot in a way of Battle for the Planet of the Apes, which is the last of the original franchise movies. So yeah, they are very amazing. I love that new reboot trilogy, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was insane. I really loved it. Not my favorite, probably my second favorite right after Dawn, but it was really great. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the full franchise of the original Planet of the Apes movies. It's an insane timeline. I absolutely love how crazy it gets, and yeah, love it. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this around here. I don't really know anymore because I've been home for about a week and a half and I'm going crazy. Alright, please subscribe, please like, and watch my other stuff. I will be making more videos, I promise. I'm not as consistent, but I'm trying. And thank you for watching. Bye.